my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. Of course, because we are. And I said we are. Yes. Happy Friday, happy Saturday, or whatever day it is you're on. I hope y'all are having a good day. And here it is in the U.S. It's 4th of July weekend, which is always a grand adventure because, it just is. And traffic is always so much fun. I live in a resort town, a resort community, and it's good. I like it here in Sandpoint, North Idaho. And by golly, if we don't have like 400 times the traffic right now this weekend than we did last weekend or the weekend before, yeah, it's kind of nuts out there. So, Marilena, don't let me forget, and I will answer that. So, yes, adventuring off into the spaces between, being broadcast live on Truth Frequency Radio, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and TalkStream Live. And also on YouTube Worlds, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and the bell if you want to be alerted when I'm live again. And, no matter how you are hearing me, make sure you stop in and say hello, either with a quick hi or send us a message. Or you can send me an email at wildpaisley@gmail.com. That's WILDEPAISLEY@gmail.com. And let's see. Also, phone line is open tonight. That's 213-233-3998. I actually remembered it. And, if you're across the pond in the UK, it is 44203-393-2871. And let's see, what else do I got? Oh, ialife.com. Check it out. It's all those good things from ayahuasca and CBD oil without the buzzes, of course. And yes, you should go there. Check it out. Especially in this awesome time where we're worried about the Ooga Booga, the COVID, the flu, for crying out loud, or just whatever it is that ails you. Go there and check out ialife.com because it will help boost your immune system in general. All right, so Shadow Peeps. So, real quick, Marilena wanted to know, what do we eat for 4th of July? So, I am going to be barbecuing. Be hot dogs and hamburgers, and I'll probably make potato salad because I can't really barbecue without having potato something. Corn on the cob. And then we will do s'mores around a bonfire tomorrow night and with the grandkids and the mini-me. And on that note, I will not be live tomorrow night, everyone. I will be doing a pre-record, or I will not be on YouTube at all. I'll be pre-record on Truth Frequency Radio, just because I want to do the family thing, focus on the family. Also, full moon with an partial eclipse, which is super duper cool, because you know what? Full moons and eclipses are just awesome. They really are. Full moons. Let's see, which full moon is it? I don't know off the top of my head. Full moon. What does July say? July says it is a buck moon. B-U-C-K, buck moon. I don't know. I don't know why. Also known as the thunder moon. Thunder moon makes more sense, because now is the season of thunderstorms. All right. So Marilena has asked a question right off the bat. Wants to know why she keeps seeing through people walking around and looking at her. As far as she knows, they have not interacted with her, but she's not sure. So, a knee-jerk, it could be shadow people, yes. It could be any of the odd ducks that Paranormal Portal talks about, because Brent and Don do talk about a few crazy, bizarre things, and creatures and such. Or for those of you who have noticed the energy changes that we've been seeing this year, it's not just the with the virus and everything, but it's 2020. Some call it a crossroads, which I could see with the whole number 2020. But there's been a significant energy shift, or shift in general, I believe. That's my interpretation, for the year in general, and in a pretty big way. Seriously noticed new things with after the solstice, and it was yet another shift, or a different type of shift. So you may be seeing people who are not entirely in this dimension, and they may be looking at you, Marilena, just because you're kind of showing up in their dimension, and they're wondering why, because you don't look like them or aren't quite like them. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's real. Excuse me. I've got sage going in the background, is drying me out. Which you guys can't see it. You can kind of see the crystal ball back there and the kind of globe thing next to it. So yeah, you may be seeing trans-dimensional beings, which I think that's real, or people that are just aligning to this dimension. Or it could be just spiritual entities that have not crossed. But then I personally feel that a lot of the afterlife that people talk about are very much a parallel or linked to this life, or to this world, or plane of existence, whatever. And so it's quite possible that you're seeing a version of the afterlife kind of bleeding through, and they're seeing you, and they may be existing in a world of black and white, and you may be sticking out in full color, or vice versa. And so you are the oddity to them, so of course they're going to pay attention. So that could be it. So yeah, it's the energies are definitely interesting these days. So real quick, I give the rundown. I see Bam and Psycho and Brent and Daryl and Ruthie and Joyful One in one chat room, and in the other I see y'all chatting away in there. Blue Line Bigfoot, Bomber, Brandy, Naysay, Chris Jarvis, Elaine, Mary Bond, Marilena, Nesse, Titan, Lucky, YTFP Chris. So the Chris's are in the house. And if I missed you, it's not because I didn't see you there, and I can see you chatting away. Elaine, Aussie Tiger, Carlton, Pharmacy Seed Networks, Brandy. Just going through Titan. Scrolling. Anyways, if I missed you, I'm sorry. I see you there. Hello. And no worries, Ruthie. Sometimes I have to stop and think about how to spell myself, so it's all good. So tonight, I really wasn't quite sure what to talk about tonight, because, full moon tomorrow with a little bit of the, or with the partial eclipse. I was thinking about talking about that, and I was kind of going in that direction. And then, so I work in an esoteric shop, and I like my shop that I work in, and it's very peaceful, soothing, relaxing. You walk in there, it smells good, it feels good, the energy is awesome. Oh, my stars. Awesome place to work. But we listen to instrumental type music a lot. Think Enya, if you will. And I got off work, and I just really needed something with a little bit more kick to it. So I was listening to Beastie Boys and then Rob Zombie, and I don't know what else was in there. And so it just it felt right. It felt good. So yes, having fun. And I was thinking maybe I should talk about music tonight because we all listen to music in one form or another. If nothing else, when we're on hold, we get stuck listening to on hold music or in the elevator. We're listening to, the music or in the, the stores. Who knows what's being played? Did you know some stores actually have their own radio station or online station that they listen to? It's like, yeah, good deal, yeah. And, oh, if the show froze, I'm sorry. I don't know why. It shouldn't be. So yeah, we're listening to music. Just maybe I have too many tabs open. That could be it, honestly. So, talking about music and the importance of music, because I know, like for me personally, I love to clean to music, cook, listening to music, drive, listening to music. Mini me last night or yesterday, as I'm getting ready to head to work, she's like, "Hey, can we listen to Enya?" It's like, yes, if you really want to listen to Enya, knock yourself out, kid. She's 6 and she likes Enya. She knows who Enya is, which is almost the bigger, the bigger mind blowing thing. Yeah. So, whatever happens, you driving down the road or dealing with people or, having a good time out with your friends or whatever, we all listen to music, and it's often a variety of music. Some songs just, hey Tito, some things you just have to, stomp your foot to because you just gotta, just the rhythm is there and you just gotta get up and move and dance around or whatever. Just shower singing or singing while cleaning. Please, please, please promise me you will not use the toilet bowl brush as a microphone. That's my biggest thing because that will scar you for life. Seriously. So, anyways, we're going to talk about music. So, witchcraftmusic.com had a fun little article, so I figured we'd start there. Chris Jarvis, if you got burnt out on Enya, try Clannad. Clannad. Clannad is actually the parent band to Enya. So, yes. And then, oh, yes, as you're getting ready for the full moon tomorrow, make sure you got your moon water going. I'll mention that now. Probably mention it again, of course. Thanks, Naysay. Oh, so, some different types of music when it comes to paganism and witchcraft. Chants are something that are often done or a significant part of witchcraft and rituals and get-togethers. And chants are often used during the ritual, and they're used to raise energy from the inside and outwards to direct towards a focused set of goals. It could be used to cast a circle, invoke a deity, or for spell work like healing, money spells, prosperity, etc. Moonwater bomber. Moon water. There. Oh. Let's see. And then meditation music is often, if you've ever meditated, you probably have some sort of music going on or something to help you meditate. Singing bowls, flutes, panpipes, that kind of thing. But it's, meditation is, directing the energy inwards. And to help push your higher self up and build your inner temple. And the music is often used to aid in focus. Often it's slow, it's soft, it's instrumental, it's a slower beat. And, or, rhythmic, just because binaural beats, yes, all of that used for meditation. Then instrumental music. Um, who doesn't love good instrumental music? I'm just as likely to drive too fast to Bach or Beethoven as I am to Beastie Boys, honestly. And yeah, because yes. So, and instrumental can be any type of music. It could be your favorite rock songs, just instrumental instead of with words. And you can use it for specific magical goals or just to listening. Um, Devotional music is very similar to liturgical music. I can't speak. Um, Basically, its purpose is for the performance of the music is to celebrate the ritual itself. So it's often performed during the ritual, and it's to honor and as a devotion to the deities that you're honoring, and the elements through the performance of it. Oh, yes, bomber. Moonwater Delic, yes. For those of you who don't know, Mr. Don Longbeard, who is generally here to produce the show, has had the occasional nip of my Moonwater. I don't know why, he just does. Then there's folk music, which often is kind of a neo-pagan thing. But like a lot of Irish Celtic type music is often more of a pagan theme. And then there's pagan rock music. There's heathen rock, heathen metal music. Love that stuff. They're That's just fun because sometimes you just need to. And there's lots of children's music also. Let's see. And then, so yeah, that's just the basics on there. Hold on. Next article. Maybe it'll get better as I go through these. Check the time. So, and honestly, if you don't like folk music, Chris Jarvis, I'm calling you out here. It's okay. You don't have to like folk music because it's not created equal. Not all types of folk music are created equal at all. But so the magical history of music, because there is one. This is by otherworldlyoracle.com. Because music has been around for pretty much ever, just as people, bang two antlers together to make music or a rhythm to dance to, if you will, the sound of bells and whistles and lutes and drums, that those are real, whether as a form of music or accompaniment to something else. So, and music has always been a significant part of magic. How I hear the firecrackers in the background. I'm glad my old dog's deaf. Because otherwise he'd be just hiding underneath the desk, and that's obnoxious because he generally pulls the camera over. Not so fun. Bards from the medieval period often told stories to rhythmic music and song. And even further back, often, trance-like states were started using instrumental music, or in some places, they were called a battle. Think the drums, that's where marching bands are real. I'm trying to think now. It's been a long day. Sorry, guys. The redcoats, would drum out the different beats to call the different maneuvers or whatnots, because often the drums would carry a lot further than the sound of voices. And then, bagpipes, the bugle, all of that. So music has just been around for a while, a long, long while. And, songs invoke feelings. I see people in the chats talking about music from Kate Bush. I don't know that one. Phil Collins, Elvis, opera, Johnny Cash. Yes. Dulcimer. Sure, nay say. Um, and let's see who else. Well, I mentioned Beastie Boys, but yeah, there's all sorts of music out. Anytime you think of those songs, they evoke certain feelings and senses. And oh yes, Amazing Grace on the bagpipes is awesome. Side note, squirrel moment, totally apologizing. So I live in North Idaho, right? In Coeur d'Alene, which is south of me, about 45 minutes. It's on a lake. It's not as big as my lake, but it's still a pretty big lake. And they have a couple of community colleges. And it was the primary community college is North Idaho Community College. And it's right on the lake. And it's got kind of a levee there to protect it on one side because the Spokane River drains out of the Coeur d'Alene Lake. And not this year, because this year is just weird. No matter how you put it, it's just weird. But generally they have a bagpipe summer camp for adults, for those who are into bagpipes and that kind of thing. Anyways, one year I had to go onto campus, and it was a foggy day. It was warm. It was probably in July. It was awesome. It was just warm. It's just that beautiful summer morning where it's not hot yet. And the grass was green, the birds were singing, and it was foggy, but you could tell it was going to burn off and be a beautiful sunshiny day. And they had bagpipers all over campus practicing, and there's like one on every block, and it was like this huge area. And oh my stars, it was the most glorious sound, hearing all the bagpipes, playing. The music was echoing off the mountains, and they're just, you drive down the road or the street, and it was just, the bagpiper would just slowly emerge out of the fog, and then as you go by, they would just kind of disappear into the background, and then you'd see it go a little bit further, and the next one would show up, and oh goodness, best experience ever. So yeah, total side trip squirrel moment. Talking about bagpipers. Yeah, the Hugh, pretty freaking awesome. Hugh or who? Not sure. It's HU. The HU. They're Mongolian throat singers. Yes, one of them. They have traditional stringed instruments, and yeah, those are pretty freaking awesome too. So yeah. Anyways, total squirrel moment. So yeah. Music, it can heal you, it can hurt you. Anybody's ever been drugged to a dive bar? I'm sorry, but there's probably some dive music. Listening to goodness, let's see who listened to a classic rock station yesterday. Bon Jovi came on. When did Bon Jovi become classic rock? I'm so old. Anyways, but yeah, music is often used to heal also, and partly because you can use it, evokes emotions, and because it is as fluid. I mean, music is fluid, and it can often insert that fluidic energy. I'm making words up as I go along. and it helps in healing. And so yeah, we can make music witchcraft. It's a real thing. So now if you've not had music going during a ritual, you should try it, because it's good. It'll help you with the focus of your energies. It really will. And often you can find the right music for your ritual, regardless of what your ritual is, because you're looking for the right energy. Now, I don't know that I would recommend using death metal music when you're trying to do a money jar, because the results may not be what you intended. So make sure you're paying attention to what your intention is before you choose music for your ritual. Um, if you have a shamanic drum soundtrack, that might be something to use during trance work or during meditation. Excuse me, or for meditation, flutes, of course, or nature sounds. I see Don in the chat room talking about death metal. Doesn't say anything. It just pops up death metal. You weirdo. But yeah, playing music during our rituals often sets the tone and the ambience for the entire ritual process. So, like tomorrow being the 4th of July, I can see those of us here in the U.S. Wanting to do, um, very, um, um, not all of us, but I see a lot of people wanting to do, very patriotic type music. So I'm going to stop there because we're about to go to break. I'm going to catch up on the chat rooms because y'all are just chatting away tonight and talking about music and smoking. So we'll see you guys in just a few. And if you have questions, please don't be afraid to ask them or to give a call. We'll see you in a few. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we are off adventuring into the spaces between. I hope y'all are just doing pretty doggone good. Let's see. Yes, Mother of the Darkness is good music. Good music. So, ambient music for your next ritual if you wanted to go that direction. Tibetan singing bowls. Love singing bowls. Awesome. Celtic flutes, Native American flutes, shamanic drumming, harp, Gregorian chants, chakra tones. Often just, your instrumental music is good. Because yes, you can use, modern music in your ritual. A lot of witches generally love the music from Stevie Nicks. Oh yeah, I like Stevie Nicks, but not. I don't know. I don't know that I'd have that in my ritual, but it's possible. The Hue, the Craft soundtrack, not my gig, but again, you could. Enigma, Dirty Heads, Sublime, Chelsea Wolfe, Florence the Machine, Corvus Corax, Damn the Bard, Bjork, Princess Nokia, specifically the song Brujas, which is actually pretty good. Lorena McKenna, Hart, etc., etc., etc. And the reason why some of these, are kind of, pick your song because modern witchcraft is really what you make of it, really, truly. So if you have a certain kind of music playing during a ritual, or you feel called to play a certain kind of music for your ritual, do it. It's if you feel called to use the music, then do it. I mean, just do it. I used to have a song by Eminem that I used as a ringtone for the longest time, because for me it was very empowering. Something about being not afraid or something like that. And it just, I really connected with it. So, yeah, I don't know, just be aware. Be aware of the message that the music is portraying. And I think that's really one of the things I wanted to talk about tonight is the message behind the music. Because there is such a wide variety of music out there right now. I really do listen to a a big variety of music. Yeah. And because there's different music for every mood, and if you find yourself stuck in a depressed mood, for instance, or an angry mood, or a sad mood, often stop and think about what kind of music are you listening to? What is the message that you're listening to conveying? And this is something that had to talk to my boys a lot, because really had to stop and make them think about what they were listening to and actually read the lyrics and to the message that that was being conveyed by the music. Because not all music is created equal, and a lot of the contemporary rap music, for instance, are, if you stop and listen to the lyrics, or a lot of the pop music, the message to it is actually really rather horrible, terrible, depressive, anti-family, anti-care, anti-love, if you will, awareness of others. and instead is often quite derogatory and negative, and the message that is anti-life, exactly, Lucky. And the message is just not one that I want to hear, want to listen to. So if you can't, if someone sent you a card and had that message written on the inside of a card, how would it make you feel? For instance, um, because I mean, a lot of country music around, for instance. My dad put it one time. He's like, my dog got ran over, my girl ran off, I wrecked my car, and my beer can's empty. Basically, that was the whole message of a lot of the music there for a while, and it's just, um, that wasn't all of it, but so often, it really felt that way, and um, the message to it was just depressed and horrible. And it really felt that way for a long time. A lot of the music today from country music, it really comes across as like the real um, classic rock, if you will. Because I just Bon Jovi just isn't classic rock. I'm sorry, but and it's really got that same rhythm to it, that same energy to it. So I don't know quite what that means for rock and roll in 20 years, but who knows? Excuse me. Um, and listening to some of it, yesterday, just because I was channel surfing through the XM radio, and I had to stop and listen. It's like, what channel am I listening to? Am I going to start hearing some Leonard now? What's going on? So, um, but yeah, it's, I don't know, the music is just weird. So yeah. Um, yes, Ozzy, War Pigs. Yes, it is dark. It's also calling for justice. So a lot of music that I've been listening to, especially a lot of your heavier metal songs right now, the lyrics tell a story, and the lyrics are conveying a message, and um, it's what rock was in the 70s and the 60s. The just real a real message to it, if you will, and so, and that's what people are, hold the, this is the standard, this is the horrible music, shame on you for listening to this music, it's the devil music. um and then, oh, but this isn't devil music because it's not considered metal music. Well, I'm sorry, but Nicki, what is it, Nicki Minaj, yeah, that's her name, some of her music, for someone who's got a pretty okay voice, even when it's not auto-tuned, those lyrics, OMG, are just not. But she's not the only one. I mean, she's pretty indicative of her age group, I think. I'd rather listen to Pink, thank you, any day of the week. Yeah, any day of the week. Pink is better. But yeah, it's. I don't know. So pay attention to what you're listening to. You stop and think about it. What you listen to, whether it's words and the things people say to you, or the lyrics to the music that you listen to, it, generally speaking, will have an impact on your subconscious at the very least, if not your consciousness. So, if you find yourself in depressive states, or fugues, or melancholy, sad, you're blue, you're angry, that kind of thing, is stop and pay attention. What is the information that you're plugging into your brain? Are you watching a lot of news? Gotta tell you, the news these days, not exactly what I'd call uplifting and positive. I'm not saying ignore the news, because you do kind of need to know what's going on in the world. But it, there's the music you listen to, the books you read, the newspapers you read, the stuff you're seeing online, whether it's your social media feeds that you're paying attention to. I mean, some of them are good. They really are. And some of them really aren't. Really, really aren't. So yeah, pay attention. And we have to, I mean, it's really easy to hear the negative messages out there in our music or in our society. And it takes a lot more work to find the positive, or at least the neutral, even if it's not positive. I mean, here in the U.S., I can't really speak to other nations, but here in the U.S., the news is, it's not all headlines all the time. It's all negative all the time. Goodness. I often will catch the news from other countries just because I want to find out what's really going on in the U.S. because, yeah. What you're putting into yourself and what you're exposing to yourself to will definitely impact you. For instance, your self-talk. I know I started on music, but I'll come back to it. I promise, because I haven't talked about meditation and music that much yet because it's real. But your self-talk. Think of it as 2D, and the words you speak, your brain is only hearing the words. Your subconscious, your psyche, your id, if whatever you want to call it, it's really only getting the words. It doesn't get the sarcasm. It doesn't get the humor. It doesn't get the punchline. It doesn't get any of that. It only gets the words. So if the words are negative, even if they're said with a smile or with amusement or anything like that, it's not really comedy. It's not really amusing. It's actually negative. And because it's actually negative, it's not going to leave you with positiveness in yourself and in your psyche, and you're only going to hear that negative message and that negativeness. So if death metal's your thing and it's giving you a good message, then I guess listen to it. But if
it's not necessarily the message, it's the feel of the music.
Well, the words are important too, though.
That is true.
It's not just the way something is said, but also what is said. So often, just words are often very, very 2D. Sorry, I'm thirsty. My sage is really drying me up, and I'm glad it's done. Goodness. So, hey, Mr. Don, how's it going?
Guess what Don's doing?
Don's eating. So, yeah.
Hi, Lucky.
Everybody, yes, hi, Lucky. Yep, just jumps in. 2 cents. Don is 2 cents for you. 3 cents. Actually, I think he's got shrimp right now. Shrimp and steak. They're all saying hi.
Steak? How did you get the steak?
It was on the cutting board underneath the parchment paper.
Oh, no wonder I didn't see it.
It's still there.
Anyhow.
Anyways. So, yes. Pay attention to what you're putting into you. Not just the food you eat, because the food you eat impacts your physical health, but the words you're hearing, because yeah, the words you hear or read will have a significant impact upon how you feel, not just about the world around you, but yourself. Oh, Ruthie wants to know if there's enough for everyone.
Only if you were here.
Your food is important. Mini Me made a cake the other day, by the way, you guys. She's 6. She made a cake. And it's got fruit cocktail in it. It's actually pretty good. No, you go have some ice cream. You'll feel better.
Yes, I will.
And yeah, it's just she tries so hard. Actually, no, she does a pretty good job following a recipe. You just gotta kind of pay attention to her. Sorry, I knocked it over again.
So, what is your topic tonight? I'm sorry, I didn't even see that.
My topic tonight: music and magic, magic and music, music and magic. So,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah,
Because
I would have to say death metal, or the music I listen to, which isn't necessarily death metal. It's not Viking metal either. But, it's not, I don't think it would be conducive to building magic or, correct for ritual.
right.
I'll just freely admit that.
Well, depends what kind of magic you're trying to do.
Well, if you're doing that kind of magic, you probably should just get out of it. You're not doing anybody any favors.
Yes, chanting spells is good. Yes, lucky you can make a song out of it. Okay, so first rule of music and magic is you don't have to be able to carry a tune in a bucket. You can be off key all you want. Your deities and your guides will understand. I promise. I promise. Just be aware that maybe you shouldn't do that in public. But yeah, so yeah. Let's see. And there are different songs that are really good for different types of music. Depending on how you feel about the different contemporary singers, Katy Perry, when she sings "Roar," is kind of good. Or Lady Gaga's "Born This Way," or if that's for personal empowerment and strength. So, but if those don't do it for you, that's okay. It's okay. I'm sure there's something that does do it for you. You've got the right to party by Beastie Boys.
What?
Isn't that? You've got the right.
Fight for the right?
Whatever.
Oh, my goodness.
I was just kind of.
Heresy. Blasphemy.
I was listening to it. But that's very empowering. Isn't it? You fighting for your rights?
Okay. That's true, but that whole album was a joke. It was meant as a joke. And that whole album was meant as a joke. But it was a great album.
Okay, well, it may have been a joke, but there's nothing wrong with it.
No, there isn't.
There are money spells, so like Pink Floyd's "Money."
Yes.
AC/DC's "Money Talks."
Except for the fact that Pink Floyd's song "Money" was talking about greed.
Yes, so pay attention. This is
money.
where listening or reading the lyrics is important.
Yeah, knowing the lyrics. Yeah.
Knowing the lyrics is important. I'm just reading the article, okay? It's from otherworldlyoracle.com.
Okay, apparently too much time in the other world.
Apparently, yeah. Mm-hmm. Material Girl by Madonna. Glamorous by Fergie.
Those are about greed. Those aren't about making yourself better.
It's just songs about money. That's all it is.
Right.
Or the song "Money" by the Supremes. Excuse me. What song is that? Oh, I can't think of it now.
Words?
No, it doesn't matter. Attention. Oh gosh. So, intention and energy. So, some, if some songs about money are more negative. It says read your lyrics, do your research. How often do I talk about doing your research? Like every show. Do your own research.
Lewis says, "Eye in the Sky" is about the creator. Not really. Alan Parsons' project was completely high all the time.
Oh, so the eye in the sky was actually probably the walls were breathing?
Oh, more than likely.
Okay. So, like Mo Money, Mo Problems by Puff Daddy
Now there's a truth.
is maybe a true statement, but that's probably not the best message you're trying to convey as you're trying to do a money spell. So pay attention. And you know what? Yeah, Eye of the Tiger. Yeah,
Now,
I like that one.
that's an empowering song.
I like that one.
That is an empowering song.
Yes. Eye of the Tiger. Yes. So, and maybe you just need to write your own song.
That's usually the best way to go.
So, figure out your intentions. What is it you're trying to achieve? And if you can't sing, chant it. It can be a monotone chant to a drum. Even if it's just finding a pot to bang on, because any 2-year-old can do that. Yeah, pretty much almost, the Rocky theme song. Yeah, that one's empowering too. Just really, truly stop and think about the lyrics in the contemporary music that you are trying to use as background to set your ritual. And if it's in a language that is not your own. So if for instance, the Hue, is it Hue or Who?
Who? As a matter of fact, that means, in Mongolian, that means human.
Human. Okay. The Who. So, love the sound of their music, but I would not do a ritual to their music, mostly because I don't speak Mongolian and I don't know entirely what the message is.
Most. Not all. Most.
Yeah, most of music.
Most Mongolian music is literally about Genghis Khan.
Now, so if you want to talk about getting lucky and spreading your seed from one shore to the next, that might be the right one to go about. But I'm not sure that's really the right one. Just that's not the message. Conquering your fears.
Oh.
That might be the right one. Look at segue. But no, you just pay attention. So if you don't speak the language that the song is written in,
or if you don't understand the words, what they mean,
yes,
in that language,
including English, if you're an English speaker.
I'm sorry.
Just saying.
Did you say, can I get a set of fries?
But it's all the same. Which is an inside joke. You had to be there for it. Yeah. Just do your research. Think about it.
Yeah. The best, in my opinion, the best thing to do would be to, one, move the mic forward a little bit. And then the other thing would be to, just go with a feel-good instrumental type song, Bypass the words, because you're not going to find anything contemporary. Anything contemporary that even cuts the mustard, for that matter. Something that feels uplifting, like, some big band swing. God, I love big band swing. But, that'd be for like, in my opinion now, that would be for like feel good music, if you want, there's lots of bagpipe music out there. There's classic Celt music, folk music, classic Celt folk music, Norwegian. You can find Norwegian drumming all over the internet.
Yes, Lucky, it's just like getting a tattoo in a different language. For all you know, or a barcode.
Barcode.
You may have just gotten the barcode for a package of condoms, or that word in another language may say toilet. I don't know.
For a good time.
For a good time call. Yeah, so just be aware.
I had a gal that worked with me at one place, and she had a barcode tattooed on her inside of her wrist, and every time she swung her hand over the scanner, it would ring something up. I don't remember what it was, but it was something we actually had. We carried in stock.
It was something you carried in stock.
Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, don't do that.
All right, so stop there. Do your research before you get your tattoo. They're mostly permanent.
Yeah.
We're going to break.
Okay, break.
Break will be in 10 seconds or less. Doot, doot, doot. What?
What?
Damn it. I'm not sure. I'm lucky speaking another language. So yes, we'll go to break. We'll be right back, and we'll talk more about music.
Okay.
But we're muted. Hi, Paisley. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between.
Oh, hi, Paisley.
And, mute. I need to remember to stop muting myself. Because, I said something snarky about Dawn, and I was like, wait, don't respond because there's nothing there.
Anyhow.
Sad. So,
Yes.
there is power in music, just in case you didn't realize that after talking about it for an hour. But there is. Even basic drumming, often you can do the rhythm like a heartbeat, and you can increase it, decrease it. And yeah, basic drumming, when in doubt, use a drum. Seriously. You don't have to have a whole lot of musical skill to use a drum. A little bit of rhythm is all.
Ba-dum-bum.
Ba-dum-dum. I would throw something at you, but that would take too much work.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, you're not muted. Just double checking. Now, I am not an expert at all in voodoo. I don't know that much about voodoo, honestly, other than I don't know that much about it. But music is very, very, very important to voodoo ceremonies. Whether it's possession or being taken over by a divine spirit or a loa, is often facilitated by music. And so let's see. Interesting articles by the travelingwitch.com. Just reading through it. She says, quote, during slavery, white people often feared the power of African religions, both in and of themselves and their potential to unite, and sought to suppress voodoo ceremonies, even creating laws which made the use of drums and other instruments by slaves illegal in 1740. So African practitioners of voodoo who melded their religion with Christian denominations in America brought their beliefs about the importance of music and worship to the church. So voodoo's musical style, rhythms, and beats survived and thrive in black congregations and have become hugely influential in American music through gospel, rock, and soul. You know, I think there's something to that.
Okay.
Especially in Southern Baptist type music or Southern Christian churches, there's just in listening to the choirs, the choir music or good choral music in the Southern church, Southeastern churches, compared to the Yankee churches.
The hymnals of the Protestants.
Yeah, the hymnals of the Protestants. Well, Baptists are technically Protestants. They're just further down the food chain. Lutherans were the original Protestants, but music's different.
Roll on.
So, anyways, but yeah, there's I think a lot of that influence, those rhythms and
Absolutely no argument for me.
Okay. Great Fleetwood song, Dawn. I don't know. Okay, sure. So, in witchcraft, your choice of instrument is often extraordinarily important because different instruments do have different associations. For instance, woodwinds
I was about to say that.
are pretty much they're an air sign. Flutists are full of hutter.
Especially Ian Anderson. Oh my God.
Percussions. For me, percussion is generally pretty earthy. A lot of strings. I don't know. Brass. I see that as more fire. That's my interpretation. I would have to go through and see if there's anything real legit to it, but it's a me thing. But brass is often loud and bright, similar to the shining sun, so that would be fire. But that's my interpretation. I'm not saying that's the only way it could possibly be. So
what about water?
Water. I can see strings. Just thinking, I'm harp, for instance. The waterfall with the harp, definitely. Keyboard, it could go a couple different ways.
Well, keyboards are most keyboards nowadays are kind of cross synthesizers,
Yeah.
so you can do a lot with them.
hmm
So
Just thinking the good piano music to me, I guess, would be, or a good pianist.
nice and flowy.
I would almost put that as spiritual, to be honest, or a spirit type entity.
Titan asks a question.
Yes, what's Titan's question? Titan.
Titan asks,
Yes.
Paisley, do you put certain instrumentals on? For instance, during doing runes to set a mood.
So I will use different music types to set a mood. Depends on what I'm trying to achieve. So, for instance, if I'm using the crystal ball, which you can see behind me, lit up in red, I would probably do more instrumental type meditative music because I'm trying to focus on it without being distracted. Rune work, honestly, the Viking metal.
Viking metal or
Yes, Viking metal is
well,
real.
be careful because there's Viking metal and then there's Norse metal, which
Well,
is different.
it is. Yeah, no, it's Viking metal. It's not Norse.
No, it's not Viking metal.
It's
I guarantee it's not Viking metal because I won't listen to Viking metal.
okay.
I just won't do it. Drives me nuts.
Let's see. Trying to think what else. If I'm creating in general, it's kind of whatever is inspiring to me at the time, and I will go through my favorite
Playlists?
playlist, channel lists, whatever, to find one that's really I connect with. Writing, often it's again same kind of thing. Something I can just kind of tune out to, but at the same time is not overpowering. Trying to think what else do I meditation, generally singing bowls. Love the singing bowls or the oral beats.
Oral beats.
Oral beats,
Oral.
binaural.
Binaural.
You know what? I'm from Iowa originally. Shut up. You're not even on screen.
Thank God.
Here, now you're on screen, so people can see when I throw some things at
Well,
you.
I don't know what my positioning is, so.
I fixed it. The top of your headphones is cut off, so yeah, you'll probably want to poke that up a little
Anyhow.
bit.
Goodness.
Let's see what else. I don't know. It really does depend upon what it is that I'm trying to accomplish, I guess. Just like classic rock is the best thing to drive to sometimes. Unless I'm feeling angry, then it's something else. What do you listen to? Besides,
Not a whole lot. I accidentally disconnected my stereo from my antenna in the paranormal pickup, and I don't get to listen to anything.
that's what headphones are for.
No. I generally, if I do, I listen to metal of some type.
Okay.
Or if I have access to satellite radio, I listen to Sirius Radio has a channel called Chill, and it's deep house. I'm not so much into the. I'm into the deep house, but not the. What do they call? What are they? Deep house and I can't remember. But anyhow, deep house is a lot of bass wave. It's a lot of high energy. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cooking or baking, I like to listen to jazz. So it depends what I'm trying to create or what I'm trying to accomplish. Trying to do a reading for someone else, for instance, if I'm using runes to read for someone else, often I'll turn it off so I can really try to hear it as much as possible. But again, it really, really varies. So depends what I'm trying to accomplish. It's intuitive and interpretive. Mini-Me will do interpretive dance to everything, just so you know. And I think she's wearing a death metal t-shirt right now.
What is it white? Does it say Warbringer across the front of it?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, Warbringer.
Ooh. Lucky says if I'm making Italian food, she listens to Louis Prima and Keely Smith. Now Louis Prima, he was you know who Louis Prima is, don't you? Remember the original Disney animated Jungle Book? He was the voice of King Louis.
Okay.
He also sang the song about man. I forget the name of the song, but anyhow, Louis Prima, old guy.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, when it comes to music, if you're not someone who is familiar with it or using musical instruments often, keep it simple.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to break out into 4-part harmony of any kind if you've never picked up an instrument before in your life. So just be aware. Yeah, just be aware. And if you don't know how to play an instrument, I would strongly recommend taking some classes prior to using that instrument for any kind of spell work. Unless your goal is chaos.
The only thing I can play is a recorder. probably just like hot cross buns or something.
Ooh, I can do a kazoo.
Ooh.
Actually, I was a band geek, so flute, piccolo, oboe, bass clarinet, contrabass clarinet, trumpet, saxophone, and drums. So yeah, I could play all of those once upon a time. Do you think I could remember the keying to any of those right now? The flute, that's about it. So yeah. So Titan asks, well, if music can be a catalyst for negativity and attracting negative spirits, that would also mean that there's music to repel darker entities and invite entities of light.
Striper.
Yes, Lucky, I did that. I don't know what you're talking about, so okay. So yeah, part of it, Titan, it depends upon the music. So if I'm just shaking my head at you.
I understand. Keep going.
Okay. So again, in Titan, I would stop and pay attention to the lyrics. If it's something with words, because no matter what your intention is, if you like the beat, because there's some songs out there that the beat's good, the melody is good, but the words are not
appropriate.
Yeah, there's a popular song that came out in the last couple of years about, I think it was about Coke or something like that, and the melody was good, the rhythm was good, it sounded like a good song, very something you could really sing along to, until you stopped and listened to the lyrics. And it was all about how this person got into drug abuse and lost everything.
Oh.
And all they could afford was a shotgun or something like that.
It's called SOS.
SOS,
and
yeah.
it's like Glorious Sons or Rebellious Sons or something ridiculous like that. And it really is. It's got a great hook to it. Mm-hmm. But, that actually is about oppression of specific types of people, which is not good. It's not a good song because it's hypocritical. It's I can go on. That song irritates the crap out of me.
Yeah. Oh, it irritates me too. In part because it's got a great hook to it. The melody is good. It hit went way up on the pop charts because it was very, very popular, because easy to sing along with, and it was catchy, but the message was not.
It's confused. A lot of music these days are confused.
Very confused.
Because they want you to leave them alone, but they want there was somebody told me, yeah, you got to listen to this guy. His music's so great, and it's got such a great message. And the message for this one song is, I'm going to beat you up if you don't pay me back my money. And then the other song is, another song that was sent to me was um, something about you know I don't understand why you won't leave me alone. The man has all the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so you're gonna yell and preach about peace, but you're gonna turn around and say, "I'm gonna kick your ass if you don't pay me back my money."
Yeah.
How loving is that?
Yeah. So, really, truly, stop and think about the lyrics. As far as the music, you're trying to bring in, the positive vibe, or repel darker entities. Um, there are
Wiener.
you guys.
She's only 17.
That's not.
That's Brent's theme song.
I don't. You guys are weird. That's all there is to it. Trying to answer Titan's question.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Deep sigh. There's some seriously uplifting music out there.
There is. There's good stuff.
And in a way, some of the Christian music really is uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
I think of Amazing Grace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Actually, I really like that one. Some of the Christmas music. So part of it is intent. I be careful of the stuff from Beethoven, because he was kind of a sick
Well, more Mozart. But
Mozart.
Okay.
But yeah, some of those older composers were really kind of.
He wrote a song called "Lick My Butt."
Yeah. So just be aware that some of the words to some of the older composers are
Tribal music, yes, tribal music's good. As long as it's got, well, depending on your intent. I mean, there's, and you could ask Naysay. There are songs that bring up the spirit and for joy and to connect and things like that. Their music, their drums, their their different skins that they use and the different
and again
rhythms and cadences.
Yeah, it's a different language. Yeah. Naysay is Ojibwe. No. Yes. Ojibwe. I think that's right.
A Anishinaabe. He's
Yes.
Anishinaabe.
Yeah. So right there is kind of part of one. Ojibwe, Anishinaabe, whatever Don just said, I can't say it. Sioux, Cherokee, Apache, Blackfoot,
You
any of that.
kind of just said the same thing.
Not necessarily.
Anyhow.
All of those, they're different tribes, so they have different languages, and so you want to make sure the message being repeated is correct. Just like they've deciphered is the only word that's coming to mind, or translated some Egyptian songs now also. And yeah, I don't remember one off the top of my head, but some of them are actually pretty good too. So it just do your research. I don't know tribe right off the top of my head that say, hey, yes, do this one because that's the best one. If you go to a different tribe's website, and you're trying to seek their specific music from their leaders or in their languages, from like their drum circles or anything like that, often there will be a description of some sort with the music that'll say, kind of give a background as to what it is, and the purpose or intent, because some of those chants are for healing, some are for mourning the passing of someone, and lifting them towards the next life. Some are honoring the deities. A lot of yes, Lucky, you're right. A lot of those tribal chants do resonate with the spirit.
Yeah.
Yes. And many of them are life affirming. Yes. They're not going to be money based because that's not the type of culture. But some of them are going to be songs of mourning or or of passing or transition versus like like wedding songs, for instance, or songs of healing. So that would be a finer detail to kind of look into to research, because often they definitely do resonate. If you have a chance to go to a powwow and you're observing and you don't tap your foot,
You must be dead.
right? And I mean that in a really nice way, but love and light. But seriously, I've yet to go to a powwow and not listened and observed and not wanted to tap my foot, because some of those rhythms are just, they're calling my spirit to dance, not just calling upon the great spirit to come join them. So
Well, and that's the whole object of it, though, is to include everybody and it spread that feeling amongst everyone.
yes, because the in a way, the more people that are joining into that celebration, it gives more power and more energy to the message that they're trying to convey. So, Lewis, if you have never been to a powwow and you have the opportunity to go, I strongly recommend it, because it is just a phenomenal experience. Phenomenal. And I recommend it to anybody who has the opportunity. Then if you can't attend, I totally get it, because we live in a weird world this year.
You can find
They're on
powwow,
YouTube.
you can find powwow music on YouTube and on Spotify.
And the regalia they wear is just,
The jingle dresses and
it's so interesting how some of what they wear really incorporates our society today with the traditional wear. So it's just jingle dresses. I love jingle dresses. Bells are awesome. So yes. Singing and chanting. So again, stick with the rhythm. Stick with what you know. If you don't have access to drum, don't know how to play an instrument, that's fine. Absolutely fine. Use your voice. Depending on how old you are, you've probably had that same voice for decades.
which in my case is not good.
You don't have to abuse it. Stop with the death metal and maybe your voice wouldn't be so bad.
What? I don't sing death metal. As a matter of fact, nobody really sings death metal. It's
Don't you growl?
overprocessed. No, it's just overprocessed garbage.
Okay. Then why do you listen to it?
It's not the. It's. I don't listen to death metal.
Oh, I thought you did.
I listen to dark metal.
Oh, gosh darn. That line is so faint and gray.
It's actually quite black, but that's beside the point. Yeah, no one actually sings death metal. Most death metal nowadays is overprocessed vocals.
If you have the opportunity to learn throat singing,
Frog singing.
it's that would be fun to learn, to take a class in that, because I think it'd be fun. But Bam says to tell Don to listen to Tool.
Tool isn't death metal.
Especially an Anima?
Yeah, it came out in like 19... No, it came out in, 1998-ish.
But you're supposed to listen to the uncensored version.
I have it. I have it all. I've seen Tool so many times. They're in my top 5.
Okay.
I've watched them since 1994.
So if you ever had the opportunity to go to a Tool concert, you'd be tickled?
Oh, yeah. But I don't know. Their music's kind of... I'll keep that opinion to myself. However, if you remember correctly, there was one time I talked about the lights turn themselves off. I was listening to that album when they did it.
Okay, then.
No, and Tool is not grunge. No, they are more of a prog rock.
They're what?
Prog rock. Progressive rock. Progressive metal. My apologies. Progressive metal.
Prog. Okay. So many new words today. I had never heard of Prague, other than
Progressive.
isn't that a town?
That's Prague, but whatever.
It's Prague in Iowa. Anyways, we're going to
my
break.
God.
I was waiting for it. Waiting for the OMG because it was coming. Anyways, we're going to break. It's our last break for the night. And then I will wrap it up with the last 30 seconds. So we'll see you guys in a few. I'm going to find the button.
You push all of them.
All the time. Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wild, and we're off adventuring into the spaces between. So just a quick reminder, tomorrow night I will not be on YouTube. and it'll be a rebroadcast of a previous show on TFR because, because I'm going to take the night off and spend it with my family, and there will be s'mores with the mini-me and sparklers because, yes, sparklers are necessary to go with s'mores on 4th of July here in the U.S. And I'm not too worried about fires. In previous years, we've been worried about fire season. This year, not so much, mostly because it won't stop raining in the Pacific Northwest. I mean that completely 100%. It has just been a weird year. I know I've said that like 9 times tonight, and I'm serious. It's been a weird year.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yeah? You can talk.
No.
Yeah. The mosquitoes are the size of Volkswagens. It's like they came over from Minnesota. It's just...
Yeah, sure, you betcha.
Oofda.
Oofda.
So, yeah. Yeah, we weren't going to have fireworks actually here locally. The Lions Club generally puts on the fireworks here in Sandpoint.
Yeah, they didn't even do their raffle this year.
Nope. They canceled it early because they were concerned about the virus and quarantines and all that.
Well, most of the Lions Club is over 60 years old anyhow.
Unfortunately, yes. Except for Uncle Larry. He's over 80. Yeah.
God, I love Uncle Larry.
Uncle Larry's awesome. I'm glad, though, that there's only one Uncle Larry in my world. So glad. But then you can't make a copy of something that's just that awesome.
He's unique.
Yes. But anyway, so yeah, the Lions Club canceled, and the community said, nope, that's not going to work. You've canceled everything else in our community this year. So the community came together and raised a bunch of money, and there's a parade. And
Not really, but yes, there is a parade. There's some games over in Towers Park.
yeah, they're
till
going
5 o'clock.
old school games like sack races and three-legged race and like the egg race and some other stuff. So yeah, kind of the old school community type
People are up in arms
celebration. Of course they are.
because the guy who organized that
Mm-hmm.
had them come to his store to make the donations. He's such a capitalist pig. You had to go to his store to make the donation.
Oh,
You know,
okay,
that's
Karen.
just him trying to make money off honest people, just trying to donate to have whatever.
People. I just don't know how else to put it. Just people.
Well, you know, you got to go patronize his store. And
Well-
all you do is patronize people.
So, like I've said, it's been a weird year. So tomorrow's full moon.
Yeah.
So I would be doing getting your full moon water ready for tonight. You know, personally, I just do water. It's probably good because Mr. Don here will drink it once in a while. So
My fault.
the moon water. Okay, in his defense, it wasn't completely labeled properly.
It was not labeled at all.
It's because Mini-Me rubbed all the writing off because I used a dry erase marker because I figured I'd go through that fast. But some people do put things in their moon water. So if you're doing a spell bottle of some sort and you want to charge it with the moon, it's a good time. There are certain crystals and such that you can charge with the moon, or stones or jewelry if you want to cleanse some jewelry. That's a good time to do.
That doesn't sound very good.
Well, no, stop and think about it. If you bought stuff off of an estate sale, for instance, and maybe the person who owned it passed and you want to make sure there are
Well, okay,
no
yes.
extra hangers on to your necklaces, there's nothing wrong with putting them in the moonlight and letting them be cleansed because some of that stuff you don't want to put soap and water on.
True.
For instance, bumblebee jasper is one of those things you don't want to get wet because it's got cyanide on it. That's part of what causes
Oh,
the yellowing of the jasper. So pay attention to your stones. Do your research before you get them wet. Some will melt. You don't want that.
Well, that depends.
You're right. That is. It
You know
depends.
what? I invite people to drop their sodium in water. That would be just.
Okay, Darwin. This is not an episode of the Darwin Awards. Do not put the sodium in the water.
No, just go ahead. Drop a chunk of sodium in there.
Silver, I totally understand. Quartz
Yes.
crystals, don't do the sodium. There's not enough vodka in my blue juice. Oh, I think Naysay's trying to say something to us. Hey, Naysay, hold on. Naysay, you're so patient. Hello, Naysay, you're on the air. How are you?
I am as fantastic as the universe will allow, thank you. And how are you this beautiful evening?
Doing okay. I'm doing okay. There's not enough vodka in my water bottle, but that's okay. Don's being just so silly over there. You can't see the. Okay, he's not on
Right.
video because the camera's not lined up. But it's all good. And for those
I
of
don't
you
know, maybe
listening,
hanging out with Don would. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I said for those of you who watch Don on the video often, you don't want to see him right now. He's just all relaxed in his sweats and stuff, and he's just being Don.
Tired. Hi, Naysay.
Hi, Don. How are you?
Doing as well as the universe will allow me.
There you go.
That's fantastic. Say, I wanted to share a couple things first about the full moon report. It's a really cool occurrence that is happening with the full moon because it would appear seemingly that the moon is chasing the sun and it's right behind it to the point of when the sun sets tomorrow night, the moon will rise almost at the same time. And when the moon sets, the sun will be rising almost at the same time. A little synchronicity that doesn't happen very often, but it's pretty cool when it does, because like the metaphor of it, as we silly entities shine all day in the darkness, when we're more likely to be caught up in that darkness and fall for the desires of those darkness, we don't shine. But with the full moon tomorrow night, we'll be shining the light throughout the day and the night. So what a delight for
What a
fireworks and s'mores with Mini-Me.
Yep, s'mores with Mini-Me. She has a tendency to charcoal her s'mores, but yeah.
Yeah, I can't confirm or deny. I might have myself a s'more tomorrow if we do it. And hopefully, if all plans work, I'll be going to the reservation and hanging out with my brother and his clan.
Excellent.
Nice.
And I may or may not have purchased a bunch of fireworks across the border in North Dakota, where they're crazy about their fireworks.
They really
But
are.
one thing I wanted to, absolutely, I wanted to share about Tibetan throat chanting or singing. One of the earliest memories that I have as a child is we were sitting in front of the TV, me and my brother, 2 years older, and we were watching old Johnny Carson, and we're talking probably early 70s, 71, 72 maybe. And on Johnny Carson, they had an old gentleman and a younger child or man, boy, and they were dressed in their traditional garb, and they were doing throat chanting. And my mother and father were sitting on the couch behind me and my brother, and my mom says out loud, "That's so interesting. I wonder how they do that." And I turned around to my mom and I go, "It's easy. You just go, oh," and I started doing it. And my mom, her eyes like got super wide, and she looked at my dad and looked back at me, and because of her surprise, I thought I did something wrong. And so I quickly stopped, and like she must have noticed the expression on my face, and she's like, "How did you do that?" And I just started doing it again, and I said, "I don't know."
Right.
And as I gotten older, there's part of me that thinks maybe in some past life I might have been doing chanting like the Tibetan monks, but it was a cool thing, and I am very fond. I have a couple CDs of Tibetan monks and monks chanting because it's very soothing and a great background noise for when you're doing stuff.
It really
that.
is. It really is, and it's fascinating when they can do the dual tones. It
Yes.
just no matter how often I watch a video on how it's done or it's just it blows me away. It's like how you have one voice, you have one throat, and you have these two noises coming out of it, and they sound good together, and you don't sound like a sick duck. So I'm totally, I don't know. It's a skill that I think is just phenomenal. Phenomenal.
It's a really cool thing when you open up your throat and you move your tongue kind of forward, and it causes the resonance to echo up in your nasal cavity. And you can, most anybody can do it, but it's just that silliness of you sitting there going, oh, and you just keep moving your mouth and your throat until you get to that position of where you can open it up. Another thing that I really love doing lately is a year and a half ago I bought a hammer dulcimer. And to sit there and play on the hammer dulcimer, and I can't read music or anything, but I've been fortunate enough to be able to blend tones together. And I will start beating on the hammer dulcimer, and next thing you know, an easy 40 minutes to an hour goes by, like you're like in a time zone.
That's awesome. See, now that's trance work done right, because you don't even know where you're there, and the time just goes by, and you're in that other place, just being one with the music.
And I would say the same goes with flute music, and I also have a hand drum. I am a little bit talented. Back in the mid-'90s, I was in a band in Minneapolis during the Soul Asylum days, and it was pretty fun to be in the whole music scene and stuff. And maybe when I get off the phone, I might jump and see if I can throw my YouTube video of our premiere show of our band. Our name was Alter Native.
I like it. I like it. I'm gonna
Right.
write that down.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe Independence Day, because every country around the world has a July 4th,
Yes.
but only in America we have Independence Day. And Trump at the Mount Rushmore, what a great time to be alive.
Oh, isn't it just an adventure right now? I don't know how else to put it. It's an adventure.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Nace.
Night, bud.
Have a lovely evening.
All right, you too, Toodles.
Yeah. I don't even look at the news these days. Just can't. But, yeah. Merca.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew. I thought it was Le Pew. Le Pew. Let's see. I don't know. I was kind of running out of music and such. There's actually music you can never run out of music. It's everywhere. You can hear it, the sound of the birds singing, the rhythm of cars down the highway, rain on the roof, the sound of music.
The windshield wiper slapping out of tempo, keep perfect song on the radio.
I don't know that one.
Eddie Robert.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I understand you grew up with a different genre of music than I did.
Grew up with a few different genres.
Okay, just because I didn't have electricity once upon a time, I didn't really, truly. But there's music in nature all around us. Lucky says Eddie Rabbit was her godfather.
Wow.
Wow.
Huh.
Oh, look at me, squirrel.
Well,
That's awesome.
she said her father played with Louis Prima.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah. Lucky
She
knows
said-
people.
she said Louis was an asshole, but whatever.
She would know. Yes, frequency meditation can be used for all sorts of things. Absolutely, Brandy.
Right. Yeah. And that's the whole thing, though. I mean, there's so much. It doesn't even really have to be music. It just has to be something that gets you to the place you want to be.
Right.
Because just drumming isn't necessarily music. Music is usually what?
Anybody who's ever had toddlers understands drumming is not always
Yeah,
music.
that's what I mean. But it's the matter of the rhythm, the tempo, the cadence,
Mhm.
things like that. Is it in harmony with what you were trying to accomplish?
Correct. And different things create different harmonies.
Right.
And those different harmonies impact your ritual work or your meditation differently. Sometimes it's the wind in the trees. Just a quick sunrise or greeting the sun type ceremony. The background noises of the world around you is often enough to put you in that right spot, especially if the sun is shining on your face. Or hearing the waves lap on the shore. That has its own rhythm to it and its own music.
Yeah. That's how I grew up. Was sitting on the beach, drinking 7-Up, and just sitting on the beach and swimming.
Did you drink soda or did you drink pop?
Then it was called pop, but I realized that it's actually soda.
Sorry. Culture difference. So I drink water. So there.
There's lots at the beach. And I actually sat at a beach, not at a lake beach.
And yeah, moon energy is very good. So like tomorrow, Lucky asked, she goes, "Hey, squirrel alert. Do you think Trump and the crew did magic at Mount Rushmore tonight?" I have no idea. Depending on which secret clubs he belongs to, it's very possible.
The witches got together to block him.
Well, no, because we haven't talked about very many secret societies, but like,
Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove, Illuminati.
Illuminati is one that comes to mind, or the Masons. That's what I
Masons.
was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Masons, yeah, magic involved there too. So, it depends on which secret societies.
And there's lots of hidden things that can be done and said that would fall into magic workings as well.
Mhm.
And it's what your intent is. So if every third word was part of an invocation, or certain phrases every now and then, so who knows?
Yeah. Lucky says, not really done. I think there's more witches that are supporting him or magically helping Trump. Many are
Well-
still in the broom closet.
Well,
And
see, what I'm referring to is there was a bunch of witches that supposedly got together to put a curse or a hex on Trump, and that was like 3 years ago, 4 years,
Yeah.
3.5 years ago. They were just it was all over the news. So
and there are quite a few that are still in the broom closet or pagan pantry, however you want to put it, that do support the politicians as they are right now. But since it's such a conservative thing, often they can't come out of the broom closet, so who knows? And there are a lot of things that are done in the eye of the public, the eye of the masses, that could very much be considered ritualistic. How do you make your coffee? Do you have a ritual to making your coffee? Your morning rituals? It's where you're getting ready for work or
The
or
way you
whatever.
always do this or that,
Yeah, so exactly.
First thing that happens when Trump is booking a place is he sends in the Secret Service, like a week before, locking the place down, welding manhole covers, just doing all of that.
Exactly. So, and that's very ritualistic, and with intent. So, yeah, just I guess be aware. If you look around and look at society today and the different things that are going on, yeah, there's a lot of ritual all around us. Even those that are not practitioners of magic still have rituals.
It's superstition is a ritual.
Absolutely, it is. Knock on wood.
I always this is my lucky ring.
This is my lucky jersey. I don't wash it once the season begins because I'm afraid I'll lose.
By the end of the year, it's well seasoned.
It's something, or socks or whatever it is. My lucky rock.
Right.
Okay, how much more witchy can you get than having a lucky rock?
And then, and Lucky also says they used orange. That colors of harvest and wealth. So, there's a lot of things they do that mean things that people in the general society don't necessarily put together. But then again, that's been the way of it for 2.5 centuries.
Yeah. I was just going to say forever.
I'm
because
speaking specifically in the United States, but yeah.
Yeah, magic workers, regardless of their path, tradition, background, etc., have been doing things in the public eye.
In front of the public.
In front of the public, pretty much ever since shamans first started doing things, without the public knowing that they were doing magic. How often, when you get hurt, do you have to touch where you hurt yourself? Not because you're bleeding out and you have to plug it up, but bee sting, stub your toe, any of that.
I think there's definitely a certain
a magic touch,
certain ritual I go through when, and it usually starts with the F word. all of those ones start with the F word. And then a whole string of, pirate vernacular.
Yeah, so just because you got your weekly R's out, with your pirate vernacular. Yes, so, just be aware. Rituals are all around us. Magic is all around us. And from the drum beats to the rockets bursting in air, it doesn't really matter. It's everywhere around us. You can hear it in the sound of the birds singing.
It's also unconscious. It's conscious and unconscious.
Yeah, it is.
People do their own rituals every day. Everybody does. Whether it's get up in the morning and pray to God that you survived another night, or you go to bed at night, and you say the Lord's Prayer or whatever that is, or, even, stopping to, take 10 quick breaths. That's a ritual. It's all a ritual.
Whatever it is, keep yourself grounded. I have a feeling that times are going to get we're not done with the weirdness.
Am I going to have more chances to use my pirate vernacular?
Probably. Welcome to July and the 7th level of Jumanji. Please hold. Aliens are coming. So, it's
purple. Because aliens don't wear hats.
Exactly. So the adventure will continue throughout the rest of the year. So just a quick reminder, no show tomorrow night because doing family stuff. Is Duke's on next?
Yes, Duke's on TFR next, yes.
Yep. Stay tuned for Duke on TFR. And you know what? Hug your family. Take a few deep cleansing breaths. Be safe this weekend. If it is your choice to wear a mask, do it. If it's your choice not to wear a mask, and you won't get fined horribly for not wearing one, that's what you should do. But, be kind to yourself and others, and enjoy the moonlight and the eclipse that'll happen on the tail end of it. So thanks for joining tonight. I hope you guys have a lovely week. We will see you next Friday with a new adventure. Don't know what it is yet. It'll be a surprise to myself even. So merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. And I hope you guys have a very lovely weekend and week.
Good night.
Good night, all.
Good night. I wish there was some music. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
What is this? Good night, John Boy? Is that
Good
how
night.
it goes?
Good night. Good night, mate.
You're so weird.
Good night.